Okay. So, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you from Inspire Forensic. This is Srija Chakraborty, Head of Recruitment in Inspire Forensics. Welcome you all to the week 3 of A Crime SRB, a pioneering national level socio forensic organization founded on December 19, 2024. As a student led voluntary educational firm, we are dedicated to cultivating a dynamic community of aspiring forensic scientists. Our mission is to provide a comprehensive platform for knowledge sharing, skill development, and networking opportunities, empowering the next generation of forensic experts to excel in their fields. Backed by popular demand, after the overwhelming response to our first two sessions of A Crime SRB, we are thrilled to bring our chapter 3 of this grilling real life case experience. Over the past few days, you have seen the clue drops, queries form, and curiosity peak, and now it's time for the big reveal. Presenting the third chapter of A Crime SRB, an immersive journey into the world of real life crime investigation. This is not a fiction. This is forensic science, investigative strategy, and critical thinking brought to life through an actual case. Just like before, we invite you to observe, analyze, and engage as we walk you through a case that challenges your instincts and sharpens your mind. From the crime scene to the courtroom, you will see how truth is uncovered step by step. So, get ready to dive back in, stay sharp, stay curious, and prepare to unravel another mystery in A Crime SRB. So, we officially start with the third case study in A Crime SRB. So, guys, you all have seen this four hints poster this whole week. Can you all guess the case study? I want replies in the chat box. Can you all guess the case study? Anybody out there? Okay, so let's dive into the case study. Uh, no answers, right? Okay. So Tamanash Bhattacharya, our head of guidance and executive, will continue with it.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can we have the PPT, please? Yeah. Okay. So, the today we will commence with our week 3 of Ikram SRB, and the case of the week is none other than the Cyanide Mallika case of 2007. So, let's get started. Okay. Next one. Yeah. So, the Cyanide Mallika, apprehended in 2007, emerged as one of India's most notorious female serial killers. Socio-demographically, Mallika hailed from Karnataka, reportedly a school teacher with modest educational attainment and limited socioeconomic mobility. Personally, her life was marred by financial hardship and failed relationships, which possibly fueled her criminal motives. Psychologically, she exhibited traits aligned with psychopathy, marked by manipulative tendencies, emotional detachment, and a lack of remorse. Now she preyed on vulnerable women under the guise of spiritual guidance, placing offerings with cyanide to execute her plans. Her chase shocked the nation, unveiling the dark intersection of gender, class, and calculated violence. So now we look at a few facts related to this case. Next slide. Yeah. The first fact is our case number. Now, can anyone tell me what CRL.A.NO means? What's that alphabets which are written in front of the number? What does that mean? Can anyone just respond in the chat box? Anyone? Come on, guys, be interactive. Any answers, guys? Okay, no worries. It means criminal appeal number. So the criminal appeal number for this case was 635 of 2018. The police station which dealt with this case was Dodda Police, Bengaluru Rural District. And the Forensic Science Laboratory, which is involved in this case, was the Karnataka Forensic Science Laboratory in Bengaluru. And the investigating officer who overlooked or supervised the case was F. Sridhar, the Assistant Commissioner of Police or the ACP of Bengaluru. We'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so before we get into the modus operandi of cyanide Mallika, we will discuss what modus operandi actually means. So, modus operandi is a Latin phrase which means a distinct pattern or method of operation, especially that indicates or suggests the work of a single criminal in more than one crime. So, cyanide, so here we have divided the modus operandi of cyanide Mallika into 5 steps. I'll explain it step by step. Okay, let's get started. So the first step, identifying the victim. Cyanide Mallika specifically targeted vulnerable women, often middle-aged and emotionally distressed, seeking spiritual or financial relief. She frequented temples and religious gatherings, identifying those alone or desperate. These women were more likely to be receptive to her manipulative spiritual facade and less likely to raise suspicion when missing. Step 2, building trust. Mallika gained trust by posing as a devout spiritual healer or religious guide, often offering solutions to personal and financial troubles. She used persuasive charm and fabricated rituals to assure her victims of divine intervention. Her composed demeanor and familiarity with religious customs fostered confidence in her supposed spiritual legitimacy. The step 3 and the most important step, the ritual setup. Now she orchestrated elaborate fake rituals promising prosperity or relief from curses. These ceremonies typically required the victim to isolate themselves, wear jewelry, and bring valuables. Mallika would then mix cyanide into holy offerings of what we call prasad, claiming it was a part of the ritual. Victims ingested the poison unknowingly, sealing their fate. Now, this poison had cyanide, right? So, how does cyanide actually work? The cyanide is a potent cytochrome oxidase inhibitor which causes asphyxiation of cells. The cyanide poisoning is a form of histotoxic hypoxia because it interferes with the ability of cells to take or use oxygen via oxidative phosphorylation. Now, the term oxidative phosphorylation is very common to you all because you'll have studied it in biology. Okay, so I'll move on to the next step, which is planning and robbery. So post-poisoning, Mallika would swiftly steal the victim's jewelry, cash, and other belongings. Her planning ensured the location was secluded, minimizing the lack of interaction. She chose victims who wouldn't be immediately missed, reducing the likelihood of prompt investigation. So as you can see, her planning, her everything was very well sorted. She calculated each and every step of it. The motive was a blend of greed and calculated survival. And the last step, avoiding detection. Malika employed a nomadic lifestyle, which means she kept shifting from one location to another and she also kept shifting her identity. She used minimal personal identification and changed her appearance periodically. The use of cyanide causing quick death without overt trauma often led to misclassified cases. Her careful victim selection and ritual disguise masked the crimes as spiritual mishap or suicide. So this was basically the modus operandi or the method of operation which Cyanide Malika used to execute her crimes. That's all from my side. Now Fernandez, our head of education, will take over. Thank you.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, hello guys, good evening everyone. Today's case study takes us into the dark mind of India's first convicted female serial killer, Kempamma, aka the Cyanide Mallika. So, now just don't sit back. This is an interactive session, so stay sharp. I'll be throwing some quizzes and some questions your way. Okay, so here is a first question. What was the age of most of Kempama's victims? Do you think they were like under 25, 30, 60 years old, or over 70? Please comment down on the 60s, mostly middle-aged women. Okay. Any more answers? Okay. So basically, the correct answer is 60. Okay. So most of our victims were elderly women, making them more vulnerable and trusting. Next slide. So yeah, these were the list of victims. So between 1999 and 2007, Kempama murdered about 6 women, and here is the breakdown. So first we have Mamata Rajan, who was 30 years old, Elizabeth, who was 52 years old, Yashodamma, who was 60 years old, Muniamma, who was 60 years old, Tillamma, who was also 60 years old, and last but not the least, Nagaveni, who was 30 years old. So she was her final known victim. So here's a turning point, okay? So let's zoom in on the final murder that led to Kempama's downfall, which is Nagaveni, who was aged 30 years old. Yeah. So this lady, Nagaveni, she approached Kempama with family problems, seeking like spiritual guidance. So what did Kempama do? She arranged a puja in a lodge, gave her cyanide-laced holy water, and looted her jewelry after death. Now here is a discussion. Okay, here is a question for you guys. Why do you think Kempama chose cyanide over other methods of killing? She could have used any other poison, or she could have, used other methods of killing. Why only cyanide? Please type in the chat box. Difficult to detect. Easy availability. Easily available. Okay. Yes. Mimics natural death. Okay. So you guys are all right. Cyanide is fast acting. Okay. It is hard to trace and it leaves very little forensic evidence if not tested for immediately. Now, after Nagaveni's disappearance, next slide. Okay. So, after Nagaveni's disappearance, her family filed a missing person report, which sparked the investigation. So, now police noticed a pattern, which is women going missing under religious or spiritual pretenses. So, witnesses recalled Kempama being seen with these women. So, that is how, boom, prime suspect locked in. So, do you guys know where was Kempama arrested? Okay, I'll give you 4 options. Okay, Bengaluru Central Prison, Tumkur Bus Stand, Yashwantpur Railway Station, or Shivaji Nagar Temple. Temple. Only one answer. Guys, please. Shivaji Nagar Temple. Okay. First stop. Okay. Railway station. Okay. So the correct answer is Yashwantpur Railway Station. Okay. She was caught trying to flee, but the police were faster. So here is the big break. During interrogation, Kempama confessed to 6 murders over 8 years. So from her home, police recovered like stolen gold, cash, valuables, and etc. So what do you guys think about this? Like, what does this tell us about her motivation? Was it spiritual obsession or material gain? What do you think her motivation must be? Both. Okay. So, yeah, you can say both because it was largely financial exploitation masked as faith. So, now, if we are speaking about her arrest, Kempama was charged under IPC 302, that is for murder, which is now BNS 101, IPC 392, which is for robbery, which is now turned into BNS 304, and IPC 201, which is destruction of evidence, which is now BNS 270. Okay. So then 2009, she was sentenced to death, but 2012, her sentence commuted to life by Karnataka High Court. So now she is currently in Bengaluru Central Prison. So Kempamma, if you're talking about her killer mindset, she showed signs of psychopathy, deception, and manipulation. Also about the deeper understanding of how faith can be weaponized. So if we are talking about the psychological traits or the forensic red flags, I'm not talking about the actual red flags, guys. Forensic red flags stand out to you in this case. Like, what do you think are the psychological traits or forensic red flags that stands out in this case? Any ideas? So basically, Kempama's case is a tragic mix of blind faith, manipulation, and trust exploited for greed. Okay, so it teaches us the importance of investigative vigilance, pattern recognition, and victimology in forensic science. So now this is the end of my content. Okay, so whatever I've explained till now, I have drafted like 5 easy questions. I'm going to ask this. So you are supposed to be interactive and drop your answers in the chat box. Okay. So the first question is, what poison did Kempamma use? Very easy, very simple. This is the highlight of the case study. Great. Amazing. Awesome. Cyanide. Okay. Second question. How many victims did she confess to? Antipoli. 6. Okay. What city was she arrested in? Once. Okay. Yashwantpur is not a city. Yashwantpur is a place in Bengaluru. Okay. So she was arrested in Bengaluru at Yashwantpur railway station. Okay. My fourth question. What is her sentence now? Life imprisonment. Okay, great. So this is why I wanted to check your brain, okay? Because I told first she had got death penalty, but then she was convicted of life imprisonment. Last question, what spiritual bait did she use? No answers? Come on, guys, last question. Option A. Okay, okay. Pujas, okay. Why don't you all think, why can't it be cyanide? Huh? Why can't it be the intention of robbery, getting jewels and all? So basically, the bait that she outsourced was the fake pujas or the fake rituals that she conducted. So she used to lure women into telling them that if you conduct this pujas or if you conduct these rituals, all your problems will be, more maya. It will not happen. It will not have, you'll have sukha, shanti, peace, etc. and all. So that is why she used to conduct these pujas, and in the name of holy water, she used to give cyanide, kill them, and take all the jewelry that they had. So remember, in forensics, even fate leaves a trace. Thank you all for being such a fantastic audience. Over to Harshini for the rest to continue the rest of the case study.
Okay. Thank you, Janika. So, yes, once again, a very blossom evening to everyone. So, I will be continuing from the interesting part of the case, like which is also the main one, that is forensic findings. Next slide, please. Yes, the Cyanide Mallika case is a testament to the power of forensic science in solving complex crimes. Investigators uncovered critical evidence starting with the victims' autopsies. So, first, if you see the autopsy results, it indicated the cyanide poisonings as the cause of death. Signs like bright red color blood and also the pink tissues were consistent with oxygen deprivation caused by cyanide. And the second one is chemical evidence. The stomach contents revealed high level of potassium cyanide confirming the intentional poisoning. And the third one is crime scene observations. That is, the victims were found in scheduled location, often with valuables missing, which shows the dual motive of the person, that is, murder and as well as the robbery. So here I want to say one fact of cyanide, that is, cyanide acts within a minute, which causing the death by halting cellular respiration, making it a highly effective but also the silent killer. So, guys, like, why do you think the cyanide poisoning might initially appeared as a natural death? Any idea? I repeat, like, why do you think cyanide poisoning might initially appeared as a natural death? Anyone? Okay, actually, cyanide difficult in detection. Yes, it shows the effect of heart attack. Yes, cyanide poisoning can mimic the natural causes because it causes rapid respiratory or cardiac arrest without leaving visible external injuries. So, next slide, please. Guys, is the slide visible for you? Yes. The forensic
Yes.
experts used an array of techniques to link Kakuma to her crimes and confirm cyanide as a weapon. Let's explore these methods step by step a little briefly. The first one is autopsy examination. Internal examination revealed the damage consistency with cyanide poisoning. As I have also mentioned in the previous slide, it shown the bright red blood color due to the oxygen binding inhibition. So organs such as the stomach, liver, and blood, like which we already call it as viscera samples, has been preserved for the toxicological analysis because, as I already mentioned, there will be no external injuries or marks will be present. So it raised the suspicion of the toxicological or poison-based analysis. So, guys, like I repeat, like what visible changes do you think cyanide poison has shown in the human body during the autopsy? Like which made the autopsy, like forensic medicine people to confirm it's a cyanide or some odd things has happened? So, I repeat, what visible changes do you think cyanide poisoning causes in human body during an autopsy? I have already mentioned in this slide also and previously as well. It's just a bright red color blood and also the pink tissues. Yes. Yes, correct. No, it is dark red color blood and the tissues will be in pink color, not the blood. So yes, the second one is blood cyanide level analysis. This will be basically done to quantify the concentration of the cyanide because the more the concentration, the more the suspicion will be. And the third one is polygraph and psychological profiling. The psychological analysis revealed her manipulative tendency and ability to exploit vulnerable victims. And also, in this case, the polygraph test has been confirmed that her deceptive nature during the interrogation. And the next one is Prussian blue test. In this test has been basically conducted for detecting the cyanide ions in the biological samples. So the mechanism behind this is the ferrous and ferric ions, which will be treated with the sample. If the presence of a cyanide is there, then the formation of blue colored complex called Prussian blue will be formed. And then the sodium nitrate nitroprusside test. So in this, the sodium nitroprusside will react with the cyanide and thiocyanate in an alkaline medium, forming a purple color. So I will just want to check like whether you have listened to this. So I just want to ask like what color will be the positive result in case of Prussian blue test? Which color will be the result of the Prussian blue test? Anyone? Okay, it is Prussian blue pigment itself. That is why the name also came as Prussian blue test. And moving on to the fingerprint and DNA analysis. In this case, the fingerprints on cyanide containers matched Kempama's. And also the DNA analysis has been done, which linked the stolen jewelry and belongings to the victims. And the next one is handwriting and document analysis. The documents like the notes related to the rituals and also the cyanide procurement matched the Kempama's handwriting, which shows the intent of the Kempama. And the last analysis is GCMS, which is more important one. In this, the samples are basically vaporized and separated in the gas chromatograph, and also the mass spectrometer which is attached to it will be giving the fingerprint of the molecule. The fact behind the GCMS is it can detect the substance in the range of parts per trillion, making it highly sensitive. So moving to the next slide. So in conclusion part, I would like to say that the Cyanide Mallika case is a chilling reminder of how superstition and trust can be exploited for sinister motives. And Kempama, posing as a spiritual healer, lured vulnerable women with promises of blessings, only to poison them with cyanide and also to rob their belongings. Through meticulous forensic investigation, ranging from toxicological analysis, confirming the cyanide poisoning to the fingerprints and also the physical evidence linking her to the crimes. This case not only led to Kempama's arrest, conviction, or life imprisonment, but also highlighted the importance of combing forensic toxicology, forensic psychological profiling, and also the investigative persistent in unraveling the serial murders. It serves as a benchmark for how science can dismantle even the most deceptive criminal operations, ensuring justice for the victims are delivered and also lessons for the future investigations. Thank you. Okay, sorry, moving to the next slide. So these are the reference which we have referred to make this case study. So yes, thank you.
Okay, so here are the presenters. First is Tomanaj Bhattacharya, second is Jenica Fernandez, and third is S. Arshini. So now we would request Medha for delivering the vote of thanks.
As we come to the close of today's session, I take this moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made A Crime SRB a resounding success. A special thanks to Samriddhi, one of our dedicated core members, for her incredible efforts in creating the presentation. Her research and hard work ensured it was not only informative but also engaging and presentable to all participants. Our appreciation goes out to the head of Guidance and Executive, Tamonash Bhattacharya, Head of Education, Janika Fernandez, and Coordinator of Research and Development, S. Harshini, Your creativity, strategic thinking, and constant effort has put together this session. Our appreciation also goes out to the Head of Education, Janica Fernandez, and Head of PR, Manpreet Kaur, because they were the brain behind this from planning to promotion. Thank you for shaping it into something truly special. And of course, a big shout out to the entire Inspire Forensics organizing team. Your passion, dedication, and teamwork are the backbone of this event's success. Last but certainly not least, thank you to all the participants. Your curiosity and enthusiasm are what inspire us to keep organizing such meaningful sessions. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you in our next event. Thank you.